Monday. Hey, Kate, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. Guess what? It's the Kate and Kim show today. It's the double special K.
How could you not have like a Kim and Kate show like every day? People just we're just is.
I know. We both got K's in the beginning of our names, so we could be the double special K.
We got so much in common.
I know. I love it. So how you doing today? I know you're sitting up, propped up with your leg up there because you kind of did a little bit of a roll on Friday with your ankle.
Yeah, I kind of did the Olympics before I got to the back door of my house with 3 bags of groceries. I thought to myself, right, I'm gonna not do this in 2 trips. I'm gonna do it in one. So I carried 3 heavy bags of groceries to my back door, and then I had wedges on. I had little heels on, and I kind of just went over on my foot and twisted my ligaments in my foot, just under my ankle bone. But otherwise, I'm fine. It's not very painful. But when I'm not on my feet, I'm keeping it elevated.
Oh, good.
So that it heals. But I don't think I'll be running for a week. I think it'll just be walking.
So, but you walked this morning. You said you walked 6 miles or 6 kilometers, or what's the difference? I mean, I don't know. Miles, kilometers. Hey.
I walked 6 miles, but I didn't run. So with walking, I could go as slow as I wanted to. But I wasn't running, so I wasn't crashing my foot back down onto the path or anything. You know, I was just, I wanted to exercise and keep up with the exercise, but not do something too radical to make the ligaments even more sore.
So walking this morning, you were okay. Did that swell up the your ankle?
No, it's not swollen up at all. It's only if I do so much like sprinting or running or anything like that. I'm not going to put too much pressure on it. I'm not going to take the risk.
Awesome.
But at the same time, I still need to keep exercising it so I don't stiffen it up or anything like that. So we're good. I've just got to learn to have self-care after doing some exercise.
And yeah, you're going to have to drink lots of wine to get yourself through that ankle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm being a good girl this week.
Okay. Well, we're broadcasting live here at Bold Radio Station. We have a little bit of change of plans. Our guests couldn't make the show, but that's okay because it's the Kate and Kim show today. And you and I've got a lot going on this year, but I want to give a big shout out to the Bold Radio Station team. They're awesome. Nesha, the producer of the show, he's wonderful. He'll serve us. Did you know that, Kate? He will serve us. If you want a glass of wine, he will serve you a glass of wine. He's awesome.
Wow, it comes all that way to the UK to pour me a glass of wine. Now,
he does.
That is a gentleman.
Yeah, he really is a true gentleman. I bet you his wife would say that about him, too.
Oh, bless him.
Yes, absolutely. Anyways, you and I've got a lot going on this year, and we're in to me this is August, so we're in the kind of the final fallout of 2016 here, the last quarter, and blah blah blah. Anyways, you and I blah blah blah. You and I haven't. You can tell I'm just like, okay, it's Monday. Actually, I took the morning off this morning, which I never do that on a Monday morning. I took the morning off. Grace and I went for a little bit extra walk. I have a new Pilates machine, so I was playing around with that. I had breakfast. I have showered. I'm dressed. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm never showered and dressed. I'm always dressed by this time, but never showered and ready to rock and roll by this time of the day. That was nice to have taken the morning off like that and don't do any business. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's Monday. Let's just kind of roll into this. But you and I are hosting. We're both retiring from the anthology world. We're going to step out and let more people have the anthology space of the world. But we're doing one more this year. We're going to launch it in December, and it's no bullshit about business. It's everything about business. No BS holding back there. And this is it. There's only 15 spaces to invest in, have a chapter. Kate and I will also be implementing a chapter, of course, in our books. And this is it. This is our last one. There will be no more. Kate's retiring from anthologies, and so is Kim Boudreaux Smith.
Yep. and publishing as well, because I am raising up the new publishers in the marketplace, and then I am retiring full throttle from the publishing side, from the anthology side. So this is the last opportunity of actually being in a book with myself and with Kim. So don't miss out upon this opportunity, because it has changed many lives. It has grown many businesses, and it has built many platforms. It's actually helped over 125 people in the past 2.5 years who have become best-selling authors. So if they can do it, you can do it. So don't hesitate to miss out on this last journey, because that's what it is. And I'm retiring from consulting this year, because next year I'm going full throttle into the Missing Piece magazine, and I won't be consulting how to be a publisher. I won't be doing anthologies anymore, neither will Kim. So we're all going into new territory next year.
Yes, absolutely. We're changing all things up. So let's take a minute here. Let's talk about the new magazine. You're launching a magazine in January. And I gotta say this. Okay, so for all of us that are participating in the magazine, in 2 days, August 10th, our articles are due for January. I mean, who was I telling that to the other day? And they looked at me and went, whoa. And I said, she doesn't mess around. I said, on top of it, in front of it, not chasing tails and things like that. But you and I have been talking, I know you're being a little flexible with this first round of the deadline, because everyone's just getting in there. We're just getting acclimated, and it's something new. For me personally, I sat down Sunday morning and put in all the due dates of the articles. I looked at my calendar all for the next year, all the due dates, and then I backed off 2 weeks, and then gave myself a 1 week notice to stay task at hand, and then all the stuff. But I love how organized you are, Kate, and
Thank you.
we were talking with you're welcome, and we were talking about the other day how people like to appear like they're the experts in an industry, but they don't want to do the flipping work. They're lazy. They go and it's okay to turn and ask people, like, for an example, let's say I was going to launch an online magazine, which I am not going to do, but to come to you and say, hey, Kate, what was your overall, experience about this? Or, what was that? Or, just something, like that, but not, what is your platform? What did you use? How did you learn this? Blah, 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 blah. Get out there and learn it yourself. And Kate, I'm in huge admiration. Ever since I've known you, 4 or 5 years now, you've always done that. You've always have said, okay, I'm adding this onto my business, but you dig in, push your sleeves up, and you go learn about the stuff inside out.
Yeah, I will be completely honest with everybody that is listening to this, that every product or any service that I actually sold within the Missing Piece company, I knew absolutely shit about it at the very beginning. By the time I'd finished it, I became the expert, because I would sit there and I would learn, and I would go into details that probably people wouldn't even go into. So let's take an example for the magazine. The magazine is not launched until January. I came up with the idea, I set the foundations, set the agreement, started looking around for people to be in the magazine. I'd set the deadlines. I'd set the submission dates. I didn't know what was going to happen within the first few moments and few months of placing this together. What did happen, so that I had a little wiggle room, I knew that already. I wanted to take the end of the year to do it, from now to the end of the year. Did I know for a fact that one of the writers and who was going to take interest in this magazine is actually a producer for the Discovery Channel, and also an ex-Super Bowl championship footballer who's now turned to a doctor who's an expert in his field? Did I know it was going to attract some of these people? No, I didn't. And it was coming close to the 10th of August deadline, and I was like, it's so good that I was that organized in the first place to then have that wiggle room, so then I could put the major deadline back to the end of August, so that people knew they could have it submitted by the 10th, but the complete end deadline was the 31st of August. And I'm so glad that I did that, because organized. We never know what's around the corner. So we have to be organized. We have to be willing and prepared to put things in place for the just in case moments. And back to the expert, a thing that really just annoys me when somebody says that they're an expert in something and they've only achieved it once, or they've gone and done it through somebody else's platform or somebody else's company, and then they come out the other end and then expect to be an expert when really they're going to somebody else and asking 100 questions. How do you do this? What's the platform for this? How do you do that? Well, I've had that many times before. People coming to me and saying, so what are you using for this and what are you using for that? My reply is Google it or go learn, exactly like I had to. When I was releasing these projects or these programs that I knew naff all at the very beginning, what I did do was willing prepared to learn and willing prepared to do what everybody else was not going to do so that I could become an expert, and then I can call myself an expert.
Kate, just heads up, you're hiccuping up a little bit, but it's not anything really bad. So I just want to prepare you for the hiccuping on your internet there, or it's Skype probably. But anyways, and we can all, you and I, it's just you and I, so we can always swing back around if you're saying anything of utter importance. So let's stay here for a second. Let's talk about organized, because I always say this. People are always so busy chasing their freaking tails like a hamster in a wheel and running these businesses. And I'm busy. And it's like, okay, but what are you doing that is productive? And I'm busy. Hi, how are you? I'm busy. And it's like, okay, that response when I say, hey, Kay, hi, how you doing? Busy. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. And you don't say that to me, but it's just a pet peeve of mine when people say that to me. But, you just said something. When we can manage, and I'm paraphrasing, when we're organized, when we can manage everything that we can at our fingertips manage, not control, manage, then when the unforeseen obstacles hit us, we're not like, like where, God forbid, one of your kids gets sick, or the incident that happened over the weekend, or aging parents, which is what I'm dealing with. We don't start, oh my God, now I'm really behind, even more behind than I was behind. It's like staying organized and saying so crystal clear on your purpose and your intentions and your vision. And it makes things so much more streamlined. It allows the universe to come in and be able to deliver to you what you are specifically asking for with ease and grace.
Yeah, it's clarity is king. If you are not clear, how can anything be delivered back to you? You reap what you sow. The law of reaping and sowing. Whatever you're placing out there, you're going to receive back. And if you're in a confused state of mind, everything's just going to be rebounding off of you and bouncing back off of you.
You're right. And in fact, speaking of clarity, that is that's what we're launching the magazine with, is clarity. And, I'm big on, being the bold authority in your industry, being the authority in your industry. And I've had a couple of people say to me, don't you think authority is a little too out of control and out of hand? Well, first of all, I'm just going to say to everybody, as a business owner, and this is a Bold Biz Chat show, is I don't believe in rules and I don't believe in box. I believe in doing what works for me, but I got to be crystal clear before I can even arrive to that. I had people say to me, well, with the internet radio station, you can't do A, B, and C. Don't tell me what I can't do. I can do whatever I want. It's my internet radio station. I don't follow what everyone else is doing, because what everyone else is doing may not work for me. I'm willing to maybe extract bits and pieces here and there, but make my own cake, so to speak, create my own recipe. It's like, so you have to be crystal clear, and you don't have to just be crystal clear on who your ideal client is and your audience is. You got to be crystal clear on what your purpose and your intentions are. In fact, I wrote about this for the magazine over the weekend. It's getting really clear and then getting really organized. And I think what's going on out there, I could be totally wrong, is I think people are desperate and they're grasping and they want to look like the expert in everything. So they get clients, so they make money, so they stay visible. And then before you know it, they have a litany of that mountainous plate. Oh, my plate is so full. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh my God, I can't take on another thing, but yet they go take on 5 more things.
You've got to transition. If you are going into something new, you've got to transition with ease and grace. You've got to give yourself enough time. You've got to be organized. You've got to give yourself some wiggle room. I'm transitioning from coaching, publishing, and actually doing anthologies into a magazine. And that is it. Once I'm transitioned into that magazine as from the 17th of January 2017, that will be it. There'll be nothing else. There will just be the magazine because that will be my main focus. It's when people's focus is split because of the shiny object syndrome of I need to earn money, I need to earn it quick. I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. Oh, I'm good at this. It's kind of like jack of all trades and master of none. You are not the master of anything. You just know how to do so many several things, which then your focus is split, which then actually for the customer, that is a delivered service at weakened rate.
Exactly. We need to come away from that shiny object syndrome, and stop and come away from that white picket fence syndrome, and time is time, and that desperation of all of that, because not only will we look, one of my favorite words, for shimmeled, unorganized, disarray, we become jacks or jackstresses of all trades and mastering absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And overwhelmed, and then
burnt out.
Yeah, burnt out, and then the ego will pick at your brains by saying, "Oh, you're not good at this. What makes you think you're good at this?" It's a whole clusterfuck, as a great word that I actually stole from Kim. I love that word. I love that word. And it ends up going downhill, and it's all because you didn't focus on a main thing or what you was good at or what you could master. Instead, it's split in so many different directions that you're doing 100 different things that there's nothing coming back for the client, for the customer, for the follower who is reading all this, who is watching all your journey. You're putting it out there as a standard that you're saying to people, it's all right to do 20 things and not be a master of anything.
Yeah, and that's not good. And then people,
Nope.
when people can't refer you because then they don't know, what is it exactly that you're doing, and
Exactly.
it's I remember when I launched the station almost 3.5 years ago with my show. I launched the station with my show first. I was producing the shows. I sat here in my office. I was production, and my downfall was I'm not IT savvy, but I learned my equipment and my stuff. Now, could I come in today and produce a show? Yeah, but I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to be very honest with everybody. Is I can do it, but I'm going to be really scratchy at it. Because it's like, when you ride a bike and then you don't ride a bike for a while, and then you first get back on the bike, you're kind of, I got to pedal. I got to, you just kind of get right back at it. So I'm a believer in, learn this stuff. And now I don't even have to do it. I have, my producers are amazing. The engineers, Nesha and Damin, are amazing. I like to ask questions. I don't need to know it all, but they're so cool because they like to teach. They like to, they know I'm thirsty to learn in some aspects. So they like to teach. But I don't need to be the pro engineer at it. And that's the same thing, with a lot of things in the business now, almost 4 years into it. So it's learning this, and that's what I'm watching you do with the magazine. I mean, you're learning how to lay it out. You're learning how to print and publish it. You're learning what different platforms do you land on for the printing and publishing, and for the peeps who want to read it and view it. You're learning the graphics. You're taking your time. There's a lot of people that want to be involved, and not just everybody can, be involved. You're going through an interviewing process, because here's the deal. I get to say this live on the radio. Listen, you want to be involved, and then you bring it's the baggage of bullshit. I'm so sorry, my kid was sick, and oh my God, I was at this event, and I missed the. Oh my God, I'm going to be late. Can I be late? It's like get over it. Get over it. You had more than enough time to know when these cutoff dates were, the submission dates.
Yeah, definitely. Everything's organized. Everything's organized 12 months in advance. I'm so organized that I know what subject we're writing about next June. So, it's just an easy process, easy step process that everybody follows and everybody knows where they are. And, then I've done it so idiot proof that there's nobody coming back asking questions because I've done all the answers. I've answered every question.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've done a great job. And you're accessible too, because we have private Facebook groups. We can ask questions there. Yeah. And, I've got my questions, just trying to land and get things all formatted for me for the upcoming year. So yeah, I love it. I mean, you make it easy peasy for people. And there's a beautiful group that's going to be contributing, and you got a couple that want in that. Unfortunately there's not enough room, but for the March issue, will be possible space. Yeah. And, so it's really nice. So I guess the message here is what I'd like to give today on Monday is, get to know your stuff, and just don't get to know your stuff and want to become that overnight sensation. Take your time to learn it, and also knowing, like Kate, where you are today, that 6 months from now, you're going to craft it and master it even more. You may change a few things where you are today going 6 months from now. And it's allowing yourself, everybody out there, allow yourself to be open for that, to be open. Like, I've been using on my wheel bikes WD-40. Well, there's a new oil out, and I'm going to try it to see if it works better. Mm-hmm. So it's allowing ourselves as business owners to do that.
Yeah, I like what I actually got back from you, the feedback when I sent you a page of design a few days ago, and it only took me 5 minutes to place together, and you was like, that never took you 5 minutes. I said, yes, it did. Yes, it did. 2 months ago, it would probably take me 2 hours, but now it's took me 5 minutes because I constantly practiced. Yeah. So behind the scenes, I've been learning graphic design, I've been learning journalism, I've been learning all these different kinds of areas, copywriting, headlines, position on front covers of magazines, how to place it, where it should fit, the colors, the fonts. And now it's like I can do it now, just like that. But 2 months ago, I couldn't, and it's only going to get easier and quicker and smarter along this journey. And next year, when I'm fully immersed into it, people will see the journey of the magazine just getting better and better and better and better. So it is mastering them skills, or going beyond what you thought possible to create what you thought possible results.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And that's, with my producers, Nisha and Damian, when they came on board, they have the production engineering background, but, they're working on a different platform. And those guys, they looked at it, they got savvy with it, they practice. We run trial runs before we go to the first, live show, and it's just mastering, and it's just practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes better. I don't like the expression practice makes perfect, because I feel I feel like practice makes perfect. When you get to perfection, you're done. It's done. You're over. You're ended. And that's not true. I think practice does make better, and
practice makes mastery. And when you become a master at something, you are the expert. You can call yourself the expert, and then people can gladly hire you to show how it's done, to be shown how it's done.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit about today. We were supposed to be talking with our guests today, and unfortunately there was a change of plan about that nasty 4-letter word, sell and sale.
Oh yeah.
Sell and sail.
You'd be surprised how many women run for the hills when they hear the word sales.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Run for your
Oh
life!
my God, I can't sell. And it's like, well, you can't sell. So how are you selling your, your services and your products and your business? So, I want to take a moment here and talk a little bit about this. And we don't really sell. We don't really sell. We serve. And this is a whole other show, but and I don't want to say that Kate and I are the experts of selling. However, we do have businesses and we do serve and sell our products. But Kate, I think one of the very first places to start with when you get into a selling mode, lining up a phone call, meeting somebody for coffee, is to leave your personal baggage in the car and not go in looking at this person with dollar signs. To go in and look at what you are going to learn from this person about this person. How can you serve them, and to build that freaking relationship.
Yeah, it is all about the person. It's got nothing to do with you. You've got to let all that ego go to the side. And I bang on about this all the time, about social media marketing, about being human, about coming across to your following and just being yourself instead of trying to be something that you're not, because then you're only going to attract people that you don't want to work with. So it's a whole ball game. When I actually work with people, I work on their mindset, I work on their confidence issues, I work on a whole lot of stuff, how they communicate with their audience and what their websites look like and sound like, and get out of that automated third person talk like a lot of people do on their website pages, because it's so monotone, it's so boring, it's what everybody else is caught up to now, and that's why everybody's bored shitless of seeing in their newsfeed of, but buy my stuff and I'm going to teach you how to have 6 figures in 6 weeks. It's complete bollocks. It's rubbish. People want to have human beings that they want to connect with and feel relieved after they've had a session with you.
Yes, absolutely. And again, you don't, at the end of the day, yeah, we all need money. We got to have money, because I know money puts food on the table. Just remember, money is a piece of paper, and there's there's an energy that, money is energy. But it's that mindset and how we look at money and how we treat money and how we are around money. And if you're telling yourself, oh no, I can't sell, and oh, I don't want to sound like a bitch when I'm sold. Did I sound like a bitch when I sold? And I don't know how to close a deal. It's like, you've got to remove all of that and go in and build the relationship and make the connection, and know that, be ready that maybe that person is not ready for your services and or products. And maybe they have a referral for you down the road, or, there's so much dynamics that go on, with an interaction before you even get to closing the deal. I'll use this example a lot. My husband, Steve, he's in the insurance business. He's been in the insurance business for almost 30 years. And there's this one account that he was introduced to probably about 10 years ago. And it's a huge account. And this account has gone national, and I think they're getting ready to go international. And I mean a huge account. Well, he got a piece of the business, but he didn't get that piece of the business until introductions and relationships, and going up there and answering questions and building the relationship. And, we would entertain them, and which they do a lot of, not a lot, but they do some entertaining in the insurance business, things like that. So he got the small piece of it. And then after getting the small piece of it, he proved himself. They came back and they wanted to give him the bigger piece of it, which is the employee benefits. And we're talking like, 200 employees. It's a huge company. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and that he cannot just be handed that. There's unions involved. There's all sorts involved. And so he came home a couple of years ago on a Friday and said, okay, I've got the letter. And it's the letter of them signing off saying, okay, move forward. You've got the account. So Saturday we were celebrating. Monday he had it pulled. This is a couple of years
Wow.
ago. And it's because unions are involved. There's a lot of politics involved. So, the COO that he's working with and the head of human resources said, "We're really sorry. We so badly want to work with you. Why do you have it? No problem." Keeps going back up there. He keeps showing up for the other piece, keeps, supporting them. So finally, a few months ago, now this is 10 years, finally, a few months ago, she says to him, now I know how to do it. I know how I can bring you in. So they did not renew with their current agent. They cut it all down. They went direct with the insurance company, which is very difficult for a company to do, because you're not an expert in the insurance business and you're trying to understand all the jargon and everything. And then they brought him as a consultant and signed a 3-year contract. So to the point of the first phone call to the insurance company, Steve got in the car and drove up there. It's an hour and a half away and sat silently because they didn't want the insurance company to know that he was on the call. And he had a pad of paper and pencil and was writing questions down and coaching her what to ask and things like that. So you're talking 10 years later, almost 10 years later of a relationship. And I'm not saying we all have to wait 10 years, but build the relationship, show up, provide the customer service, show them that you're the expert in the industry. This is not launch a business January 1st and by March 1st you're going to be a 6-figure income earner. And there's a couple words that we call those: cheaples and wannapreneurs. The wannapreneurs are the people that are launching, they're entrepreneurs, but they don't want to work at it. And cheaple is complimentary of Mark Mawhinney. He uses the word cheaple, and I'm going to borrow the word. Cheaple are the people that come to you or I and say, "Hey, I'm inside out. I've had my business for a year. I'm not making any money. I have no clients. Please help me." And then, so, you go, "Okay, this is how I work, and this is what you are to expect, and this is what I expect of you," and blah, blah, blah. We lay it all out. Here's the pricing, and you never see them again.
Yeah, that's it. They're off. Boom.
Yep. Okay.
It's the responsibility. It scares them.
Well, it's an investment too. By the way, everybody, when you own a business, you cannot launch a business for free. You can't do it anymore. I think maybe at one time we could, but I don't care if you're doing a Weebly website and you're managing it yourself. You got to host it somewhere. That takes money. You've got it. It takes money to have a business now. And in order to grow the business, you have to invest in the business. You have to invest in yourself in order to grow the business. Ford Motor Company's not sitting there, "Oh, woe is me, I have no money, I can't invest it." So, no, you have to be prepared to invest to grow. And quit being a wannapreneur and being on social media and say, "I'm here, I'm there, I'm this, I'm that," when you're dirt broke and can't invest. You are not a business owner. You do not have a viable business.
Nope. It's all about learning. It's all about investing. It's not about trying to run and try and find a stopgap. Oh, I need something to put me on for the next month. If I can just sell this for the next month, that will be great. That will get me through the next few weeks. You can't build a business upon that. If you're building it upon relationships, upon your marketing being more personal, more human, you're then going to lead to relationships that will then help you to be referred. It will have you build a presence in the online industry. It will have you appearing in people's news feeds as well, because people will be sharing your stuff. And then you will be jumping into other people's news feeds, and they'll be like, "Who's this that my friend's looking into? And who's this that my friend's liking and commenting on?" So it's all about really, be human, be normal, build relationships, and stop going for that. I would say stop trying to grab that cookie jar for that one-time fix, because you're just going to keep chasing that. That's all you're going to keep chasing is, "Oh, I'm going to be chasing the next project. now because I need to earn a book. I need to earn a book on this, and then I need to earn a book next month. So it's always chasing. It's like having $1 on some fishing wire on a fishing rod, and you're just chasing it. It's dangling in front of you, and you're just chasing it. That's basically what it's like.
That you're so right. It is exactly. So, so people that are listening, for those ones that are feeling overwhelmed and burnt out and tired and hopeless and things like that, what's the first steps do you think that they can do, like right now, today?
If they're overwhelmed and they don't have any direction and they have around all these ideas and they feel like they're launching many different projects in many different subject areas all at the same time, you need to stop. First of all, you need to stop, and then you need to consider where you're going to master your first project or your first program. How are you going to launch this into the world? Have you actually asked people if they actually need this? How are you actually tapping into your audience and finding out what their issues are, what you can solve, and then really placing it into a project or a survey or a service or a program, which is then going to really be wanted by them, and then really targeting that and focusing that on how you could launch this into the world. What is it that your people need? How can you break it up over time so that you're keeping them curious and you're keeping your marketing flowing so they know it's coming, they're feeling involved, and by the time you launch it, it sells well. It's because if you're focusing on too many things at too many times, that's when the focus gets split. And what's going to happen is you're so weak in so many areas that you're going to get overwhelmed. You probably won't sell half as efficient as you are because your marketing will be weak. Whatever's projecting out of you will be going on social media. People feel it, especially in the coaching industry. You get a lot of empaths. So if they're reading your posts, they're feeling your energy.
Yeah. I agree. I just wrote that when you were talking, I wrote the word down, foundation. It's like trying to build a home on a very weak foundation. It's build your business and strengthen that foundation. Breathe, take your time, have a plan of action. Processes and strategies and systems are very, systems and processes especially are very sexy. They can be very, very sexy. I never thought I would ever say that in my entire life. But, it's build that foundation and be strong, keep it strong at it, write down your goals and your to-do list and, and stay focused, and push the sleeves up, shut things off. Don't let the distractions get to you, like, the cell phone and, the social media, shut it off and just know that at the end of the day, you're going to swing back around to check messages and things like that. You can always put on like an autoresponder on your email and just let people know, I check my email twice a day just so they don't think that you're forgot about them or something. But it's really staying focused and having that foundation and really mastering it. And the other thing is, it's like you said, Kate, don't just put products and programs out there. Ask, build a following, create relationships, and ask the peeps, hey, what are you struggling with? Or, if you're a marketing guru, what are you struggling with in marketing? What formats do you use for marketing? It's just ask those questions. The peeps will tell you. They'll tell you.
Yeah, they tell you everything. What you need to be on the lookout for is what's going on in their head. What conversation are they having? What kind of things are they liking? What interests them? What pictures are they liking? What posts are they liking? What are they commenting on? What is it that a whole group of people are nestling around on social media? What is it? And that is what you need to be. You need to have the eye of the tiger to really look at what is being attracted to them right now. What are they attracted to? What is it about something that's really, having them in there and grasping it? And it's like going back to the Missing Piece book series that I created and published. It's every book cover in that book series, and we have 12 books in that book series. Every book cover, I asked the audience, what image do you have in your mind if I say forgiveness? They would then tell me. And then I would place it all together on each book cover. And that's what happened. And every book became a bestseller because I was asking the audience what they wanted to see on a cover because it was them that were purchasing the book.
Yeah. Exactly. Always ask, 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 not ask, ask, ask. That's which I'm excited because I know one of the editions is about of your magazine is about asking. I'm all about the power of ask. I mean, I love to ask, but people are afraid. I don't know what it is. They're afraid to ask, and that power of that silence. It's okay to have a gap of silence. We get so wrapped up. We just get so tripped up on so many things.
Yeah, we get wrapped up too much in the fear of failure, fear of being rejected, fear of somebody saying no. We have to bust out of that box, out of that conditioning. And when somebody says no, we just need to say next.
Yep. Yep. And just because they're saying no now doesn't mean they will say yes later on. Or just because they're saying no now doesn't mean they won't find somebody else down the road that they could refer to you.
Mm-hmm. And they might say yes to you later on when the time is right for them and they have the time to do the project or be included in whatever it is that you're working on. So, don't feel it as rejection. Don't feel the fear. Don't feel the pain as if to say, oh my God, they don't want to know. You just say, fine, it's not for them now. I'm going to move on and find somebody that it is right for. That's why you just keep saying next.
Yep.
It's like not everybody's going to see your dream. Not everybody's going to see your vision. But that's okay because there's 7 billion people on the planet.
And there's enough business for everybody. I don't believe in competing. Oh, hi, meet Kate Gardner. No. Don't you compete? No, I don't compete. I collaborate. I connect. I don't compete. There's enough for everybody. There is enough out there for everybody. I just still don't understand that lack mentality. And, I just don't understand lack and that desperation. Look, if you don't have money and your business is taking off a little slower than you anticipated, which can very well happen, then go get a part-time job and help feed that business if you're that serious about it. I mean, figure it out. Figure something out. Just figure it out. But don't, give up, and don't give up. Don't give up.
And if you can't afford to hire a coach, read books, purchase them off Amazon. I used to purchase them off Amazon for pennies when I was back 5 or 6 years ago when I just set out on my online business and I had no money, no income from online business. I would buy Amazon books for pennies on sales and marketing and online industry and start learning, and then as I was earning money coming in, I started then taking some out to invest in mentors and then keep investing in myself and keep investing in myself to where I am now. But it's all about learning how to sell yourself the right way. If you're not going to learn how to sell yourself the right way, you will lose people instantly.
You're right. You are absolutely right. It's all about how you're positioning yourself. And by the way, for everybody that's listening, you can be 10 years into business, 20 years, because you and I are connected with people that have been, speakers, coaches long before, people were speakers and, coaches. They still don't stop, revamping their services, revamping their products, or maybe launching another product off of their first product. It's like, I'll compare it to the auto industry. They don't just keep selling you the same cars. They come up with newer models. They come up with an upgrade. They come up with other models, but they're still cars. They're still the experts in the Ford Motor Company industry. It's still Ford trucks and cars. They just come up with new and better and improved. And that's the same thing with our businesses. It's when we all of a sudden become a money expert because we got 2 clients that paid us full price for it. Okay, you're not an expert. You're not an expert. You are not an expert. I hear so many people who self-publish and do everything through their book, And now they are like, oh, you need to write a book. Oh, I did my book. You got to write it. Blah, 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 blah. And now I have a publishing company. It's like you've done one fucking book. I mean, you're off to a good start, but okay.
I didn't call myself an expert until I had actually completed, created, published, got on the bestsellers list, 12 books in one series, and helped solo authors get on that bestsellers list as well. So I actually proved myself over 15 times before I could actually say, I'm a publishing expert.
You know, yeah, I mean, you participated in books, you led your books, yep, and then you stepped in and then you learned the publishing industry inside out before, taking on. But you went and got yourself some, momentum. I think that's the big thing that we started off today, was not only do you need to have a good, strong foundation, but be clear on what that foundation is. If you want to use those analogies of, foundation, it's if you are going to be a money expert, just realize there's so many avenues around the word money that as a business owner that you can do. I mean, you could be a financial coach, a money coach, a budget money, and just know that it's okay to have a couple of these avenues, but don't be a money coach, a food coach, and a publishing coach all in one. It's like, who the hell are you? I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, and if you're confused yourself, then you're going to confuse your following. You're going to confuse your potential clients. People are going to turn away from your website because it's going to come out of you. Nobody wants to go visit a website to be then told that they can be coached with food, fitness, copywriting, website building, life coaching, or whatever coaching all on one site. It's a bit confusing.
Yes, it is. So, Kate, this hour went by just way too fast.
It always does, because we're too great.
I know. So let's wrap it up. Let's begin by how can people get in touch with you, my dear sweet friend, Missy Katie Poo?
You can get a hold of me through social media under Kate Gardner. That's KateGardner. I have a Facebook business page and I have a personal profile. Either way, you can follow me through there, or you can go over to my website at www.themissingpiecemagazine.com if you'd like further details about the magazine, or if you'd like to have more information about the last ever book anthology that me and Kim are doing, then you can either approach myself or Kim through social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get in touch with me, of course, at boldradiostation.com or Kim B as in boy, KimBSmith.com. And if you're interested in participating in mine and Kate's final freaking anthology, reach out to us and we'll get you involved. Yes, there's an investment, and it's not a big investment. Kate and I decided to, since our last one, to keep the investment somewhat minimal. We are not bringing in 30 women like we normally do in the anthologies. We're only bringing in 15, so you get more space to write. And I'm really getting excited for this because we're going to wind the year down, and I'm going to go on vacation.
I'm going to run in the street and say, I'm retired, but I'm going to be naked, running around with the book saying, buy my book, it's the last one. I'll probably get locked up and put into prison, but at least I'll have something to read in there.
You crack me up. You are so funny.
It's definitely the last project, and it's an opportunity for business owners who don't bullshit to get together, have a great community. So, who knows where this will lead within the group and the collaborations of women in business who are just fed up to the eyeballs of all the bullshit, and we want to play something in the world to help business owners who are not all clued up, who don't know everything, or they've not had the experiences that we've had. We then get to share them so they are then notified of what could happen in certain situations, because we all need to know this information.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to, I just want to close the show up, Kate. First of all, this is the last show today that you are co-hosting with me, but you and I are not done with stuff. I know. I know. Maybe that's why believe it or not, I'm going to say this live. I'm a little bit in a funk today. You know, I mean, before we came on, I wasn't going to funk today. And I think that's why, because I was thinking about that earlier when I was walking Grace. I'm like, oh, this is the last show.
It's like we're breaking up.
Yeah, we got other things we're going to be conquering and doing together and you know, side by side and things like that. But you know, I just want to say this. I don't want to sound harping or redundant. But even when you build a good, strong foundation and you're crystal clear, just know as you go down the road, that clarity can get a little mucky because we've got so much shit coming at us. But the stronger you are, and the more inner wisdom, planted ground, feet in the ground, planted down and feet in the ground, about your destination, your why, your clarity, your purpose and intentions, then the clarity doesn't get mucky. I mean, you have to allow a little bit of you know, muck, you know, because of everything that's coming at us, and you know, but when you are the, you know, the speaker's coach, then you know when to say yes and you know when to say no. When you are a publisher of a magazine, you know when to say yes, you know when to say no to other opportunities, because you're clear, you're crystal clear.
Yeah, you won't believe how many times I said no this year.
Oh yeah, and saying no is fine. You're not going to be a loser. You're not going to lose money. You are not. It's just staying in your lane and being strong about it and confident about it and knowing if you know what direction you're going in. So yeah,
It's clarity.
You know, it is. So thanks, Kate, for co-hosting for the last month and a half with me. I so appreciate it.
Oh, you're most welcome. I look forward to my bottle of wine for the gift of actually keeping you company and entertained for an entire month.
The bottle of wine is here in Michigan, so make sure you get on a plane and come on over.
Yep. Don't you worry. I will. It's got my name on it.
Boy, oh boy, does it ever. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining in for another Bold Biz Chats. We're the dynamic duo of the Double Special K, Kim and Kate show today.
What's great about Kate? That rhymes.
What's great about Kate? Yeah, absolutely. So please join us right back here next week when I have another guest co-host and, of course, another guest on the Bold Biz Chats. We're going to have some more fun. Same time, same place next Monday. Kate, thanks so much.
You're most welcome.
And reach out to Kate. Please, everybody, get connected with her if you're not already. And follow her, see what's going on, and make it a great Monday. Hear you next week.
Want the perfect dog leash? Get a Razor K9 leash. Forget about leather. They wear out and break or stain your hands when they get wet. And nylon leashes are too rough on your skin. But not a Razor K9 leash. They're made with a smooth texture or a super grip. They're waterproof, extremely durable, and the colors won't rub off on your hands. Walk your dog with class with a made in the USA Razor K9 leash. The stitching and riveting design was developed by a professional dog trainer. Check them out at razork9.com.